This is Science Max, Experiments at Large. Science Max! Today on Science Max, we're using the forces.
Pendulums are pretty simple. It swings back and forth.
Marbles, dominoes, sledgehammer, trebuchet, rockets, levers, rockets, tension, and that's just the main experiment.
Maxed out dominoes.
I love that idea.
All this and more on this episode of Science Max, Experiments at Large.
Greetings, Science Maximites. My name is Phil, and welcome to Science Max Experiments at Large. Today, we're going to be looking at air pressure and friction and simple machines like levers, pulleys, and gears. We're going to look at some rotational energy, some spring tension, and gravity. We need all those things because we're building Rube Goldberg machines. Rube Goldberg machines. Rube Goldberg machines. Rube Goldberg machines. Rube Goldberg. You heard me say Rube Goldberg machine. Okay, we got that part. Okay, good. Rube Goldberg was a cartoonist who came up with the idea of having a simple task done by a machine that was extremely complicated. There are Rube Goldberg competitions all over the world, and there's only a few rules. First, a human can only touch it once by starting the whole thing off, and then the machine has to work all on its own. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Phil, what's the science behind a Rube Goldberg machine? Well, it's all about changing energy. Remember, you start the whole thing off with just a little push. But if you want the machine to keep going and going and going, you have to come up with clever ways to add more energy to the system so you've got more energy to keep the machine going. So check this out. A bunch of stacked dominoes, which will start a chain reaction that leads to this mouse trap, which has all of its energy stored in the spring tension, which will release the ball. Boing! Check this one out. It's a bunch of pulleys, and there's a rope that goes up and down and up, attached to this lever where there's a ball, and there's a big heavy weight here. And when the weight gets knocked off the table, the ball falls into the hole and then goes down the tube, and so on. Check this one out. Here's a great way to change the direction of something. Say the ball falls on this lever. Well, it's weighted on this end, but then the weight falls off, and the ball goes this way. And, the portal turned on. I gotta pick an expert. Okay. Hold on a second. 10 seconds before the portal resets. Sonia from the Ontario Science Center. Perfect. And there we go. Tons of time. 3, 2, 1. Sonia!
Hey.
I portaled in 3 blocks away. I had to run here.
Okay. You're here now?
Yeah, I didn't put the coordinates in when I left. Anyway.
It's okay. Breathe.
Sonia from the Ontario Science Center. I'm glad you're here because we are gonna build a Rube Goldberg machine.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
Yeah?
Yes.
I'm excited too. Check it out. This giant room. I've never done anything with it, so why don't we build a giant machine in here?
Why
right?
not?
Okay, so here's the rules. The Rube Goldberg machine has to start with one simple thing, right?
Yep.
So we're gonna start with this marble, and we send it on its way, and then a whole bunch of stuff happens, and at the end, we press that button.
That button?
Yeah.
What does it do?
I've never used it before, but when we hit that button, we get cake.
Cake?
A cake will portal in and we'll have cake.
Oh my goodness, can we get chocolate cake?
We can totally have chocolate cake.
All right, now I'm really, really excited.
Okay, so can I start?
Absolutely.
Great, because I saw some stuff over here.
Okay.
This is a pendulum. It's a weight that swings. It swings back and forth. Pendulums are pretty simple. It swings back and forth. Predicting the path of a pendulum, pretty simple. It's gonna swing back and forth. But wait, as I make it so much more complex by adding a pendulum. Now I've got a pendulum down here, and that one swings back and forth, and I've got a pendulum up here that swings back and forth. What will happen to this part of the pendulum when I let it go? Can you predict? Let's find out.
This is a double pendulum, and predicting the path of a double pendulum is really difficult. It's still simple physics, but because there's a moving part attached to a moving part, it makes it way more complex.
So, the question is, can we max it out even more? Of course we can. These are chaos pendulums. This one's a lever, and it's got another lever on the end. Whoa, and this one here is a perfectly balanced lever, and it's got a pendulum on either side. Whoa,
Scientists and engineers have always said that the more moving parts something has, the more complex they are. Science. Sonia and I are taking turns building our Rube Goldberg machine. The first section was my turn, and I explained it to Sonia.
Right here, we have what is known as a ramp. Ooh, yeah, I know you know.
Fancy.
That. Right, so we put a marble on the ramp that rolls along this thing into what is known as a pylon. And then we've got these guys right here, which are dominoes. And when that falls off the table, it'll pull on the string, and then it's attached to this. Now, this is the release mechanism, so when that string gets pulled, it will let go, and it will fire this, which is a trebuchet.
All right, should we test it out?
Absolutely. You
Can
want
I
to try
try
it?
it?
Please.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Huh.
Wait.
Didn't go. Why didn't?
Well, the domino doesn't seem to be heavy enough to make this contraption fire.
You know what, Phil?
What?
I have an idea.
Oh, yeah?
Maxed out dominoes.
Maxed out dominoes. I love that idea. Why are they maxed out? Do they glow in the dark?
We'll see.
Do they produce electricity?
We'll see.
Do they talk to animals?
We will
Do they
see.
dissolve in water? Whoa, maxed out dominoes.
That's what I'm talking about.
These are very maxed out. Okay, so
we
now.
started off with this domino.
Uh-huh.
Then we went bigger.
Yeah.
Bigger,
Yeah.
bigger. And we went to the biggest.
Right.
And this is where we're gonna get the most weight, which is gonna trigger it and release.
Ha ha! Woo-hoo. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Here we go.
The one thing to remember about Rube Goldberg machines is they never work perfectly every time.
Didn't go.
But we tweaked it and adjusted things, and then...
Here we go.
3, 2, 1. Whoa!
Nice. That was pretty far.
Yeah, check this out. Whoop. Okay, so
Nice.
now that we've got the trebuchet firing,
Yep.
and the ball is going over there, we need to get the ball going over here
Yeah.
to
The
cake button.
cake button.
I can't wait for the cake. So I have an idea. Come on.
Okay.
No, wait. Changing direction stuff is over.
Okay.
Now we're gonna talk about tension. What's tension? One more than 9 shin. Get it? Because tension and 9 that's, okay, tension is the force that we usually talk about when we think about pulling a rope or a chain or something like that, because you know the old expression, you can't push a rope. But today we are gonna push a rope. I have a rope right here, and I'm going to push it using another force called flexion. I've got some pieces of plastic here, and they bend or flex. And when they do, they want to spring back. But I'm gonna prevent them from springing back by putting them in between these knots. And look, the rope now stays up. And I take another piece, and I stick it on this knot, and then I bend it all the way. This is not terrifying. Really, it's not terrifying at all. Okay, good. And then I take this piece, and I put it here, and I bend it around, and so now we have a rope that's being pushed, and we're defying gravity, and we're making a cool art sculpture. All right, one more here. Ooh, okay, here we go. And flexing. And whoa. Ha-ha! There you go. I've pushed a rope, defied gravity, and made a cool art sculpture. Okay, well, I guess technically I haven't really pushed the rope because we're still pulling from each knot. And I guess I haven't really defied gravity because that one's sitting on the table and all the others are sitting on top of that. But you can't argue that I made a cool art sculpture. Ha-ha! Art! I mean, science.
Sonia and I are maxing out a Rube Goldberg machine. The first part worked pretty well, and now we need to change the ball's direction.
This is a trebuchet. Trebuchet fires the ball, right?
Yeah.
Right now I want to tell you the story of the ball. First, it goes through this fancy film of tin foil.
Aluminum foil?
Right, aluminum foil, because it's, yeah, you're right, it's made of aluminum. It enters this large receptacle.
A garbage can?
You also could be called a garbage can. It falls into this conular device.
Funnel?
A funnel, yes, you could call it a funnel. And then it enters the change-o-direction-o-matic, which is a lever. There's a weight on that end, then it falls off, then the ball goes this way.
Phil?
Or that way.
The one thing you need most of all when making a Rube Goldberg machine is patience.
Ball goes in the funnel, knocks that off, changes direction, and then it goes this way.
Okay.
And that's all I got so far.
So, not bad.
Yeah.
But we really want to get closer to that way.
Right, because that's the button that gives us cake.
How about we use some chemical energy for this?
Ooh, chemical energy.
I have an idea for this one. Let me go get it.
Go for it.
This is my idea.
Okay.
Ball's actually gonna roll down the tube.
Oh yeah, because this is a rat trap, right?
Yeah.
Which is like bigger than a mouse trap.
And then it's gonna hit it. Yeah. Nice.
Ooh, so this flips around.
Exactly.
And what's this?
That is something called an antacid tablet. Some water.
And the
Exactly.
antacid and the water react. Oh!
It blew. Do you want to test it out?
Sure, can I?
Okay.
Okay, ball comes through this, goes down there, comes out of this, and on the ramp.
Onto the trap.
Oh.
And
Ah, so then
Nice.
it fires up
Yep.
and hits something else
Yeah.
and something button cake. So we got a lot of different energies, but you know what one we're missing?
What?
Is electrical energy.
yeah, you're actually right.
I've got a great idea. Hold on.
All right. Let's see what he comes up with.
This is a chain of beads, and this is glass. Now, if I was to drop the chain of beads, what will happen? It will fall. Yes, that's right. It'll fall because of gravity. But watch this. This side goes up. Why? Because of gravity. Wait a minute. Why does one side go up because of gravity? Well, it gets a little complicated, but I can explain. But I think I'll have to put the beads back in the glass. Okay, so what's going on? Well, when this part of the chain starts falling out, it gets longer and longer, and it has more mass than this side of the chain. And if it has more mass, then it has more inertia. And when it starts yanking out very hard, this side of the chain gets yanked up out of the glass very quickly. And when it gets yanked up hard, it flies into the air. But then, of course, the direction has to change, so it goes around a curve and then goes back down. Because of the speed that it's going, that curve starts lifting up over the top of the glass. And that's how it works. There's a big difference in energy because this chain falls far. I try it from here, and it doesn't work as well. Why? Because the drop from here to here isn't as big. You want lots of force acting on the falling chain, which means the higher you do it from, the better it works. So maybe we should max it out. Yeah. But wait, we should wait for it to stop. And now let's max it out. This is a really long chain, and this is a really long drop. Let's see what happens. Whoa! Look at that. Whoa, super maxed out! Science!
Sonia and I have used potential energy, the lever, and chemical energy.
But you know what one we're missing?
What?
Is electrical energy. Electromagnetism. So watch. The chemical rockets, which we've had from before, they'll fire up, they'll hit the underside of this tray. The marbles will fall and flick this switch. See that sledgehammer?
Uh-huh.
This is an electromagnet, and it will attract the metal in the sledgehammer. Watch this, ready?
There.
There. Magnetized, electromagnetism. Now, when the marbles fall, it'll turn the electromagnet off, and the hammer will fall.
Oh, that's pretty cool, actually.
Right?
Can we
So
try
let's try it.
Here's something we didn't know. Predicting the flight path of an antacid rocket canister is almost impossible. We had them aim the same way every time. But we stuck with it, and being patient is key, and eventually it worked.
The chemical rockets fire, and they hit the tray. All right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so now we just need hammer hit something, and then something, 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 button, cake.
I have an idea.
All right. Cake any minute now. This is a basketball. It bounces. This is a golf ball. It bounces. But it never bounces as high as where I dropped it from. But watch as I put the golf ball on top of the basketball. Whoa!
Why does the golf ball bounce higher than where I dropped it from? How is this possible?
I only bounced the golf ball from 1 meter high. So what's going on? Well, as the basketball hits the ground, it compresses, storing the potential energy of its bounce, about to give that energy back as it bounces up again. But this energy works as a springboard for the golf ball. And since the golf ball has a lot less mass than the basketball, the upwards kinetic energy of the basketball is given to the golf ball. So, let's max it out. Ball, on a ball, on a ball. 3-ball bounce. Oh, did you see that? Ball, on a ball, on a ball, on a ball. Quadruple ball bounce. Oh, oh. Oh. No, wait. Turns out getting 4 balls to drop straight down on top of each other is pretty difficult. So, we know the mass of the ball is important. Why don't we max it out in a different way? This is a Swiss ball for exercising. It has a lot more mass than a golf ball. So, let's try it out. There you go. The transfer of energy between balls. A great way to lose golf balls.
Sonia has added one more step to our Rube Goldberg machine, a stomp rocket.
It's a hammer rocket.
Exactly.
I like
So
that.
what's gonna happen is the hammer is gonna hit our bottle, which
Right.
is gonna release all that air that's built up inside of it. It's gonna hit that button,
Wait. The rocket hits the button.
and then we get some
Cake!
cake.
Oh, so this is it. So we're done the Rube Goldberg machine with this last step.
Okay.
Do you want to do it?
I think we should do it.
Ready?
Ready?
3, 2, 1. Oh.
Let's pause here just before the cake portal's in and recap the science. A marble on top of this ramp has potential energy. As it rolls down, that changes to kinetic energy, which transfers to some stacked dominoes. They fall in a chain reaction, finally causing bigger and bigger dominoes to fall, giving the last domino enough mass to pull a string, attached through some pulleys, to a quick release on a trebuchet. Now, a trebuchet is a first-class lever, with a weight on one side and a sling and a ball on the other. If the weight falls, the sling releases the ball at the right moment and it sails through the air. It's caught in a garbage can and changes directions on a few ramps and another lever as a teeter-totter. Finally, it falls onto a rat trap, which has more energy stored in the tension of the spring. The rat trap smacks another lever, which flips around, turning over some antacid rockets. This allows the antacid to mix with the water and start a chemical reaction that produces carbon dioxide, which eventually builds up enough pressure to fire the container to another lever, which tips, dropping some marbles on a string attached to a switch. That turns off the electricity to our electromagnet. And when an electromagnet doesn't have electricity, it stops being a magnet. So our sledgehammer starts to fall. Now, our sledgehammer is heavy, so it has both mass and speed when it hits this plastic bottle. All that inertia crushes the bottle, reducing its volume. The air gets put under pressure and pushes out through a tube, which takes our stomp rocket with it. The stop rocket flies through the air and hits our cake button, which then portals in some cake.
Huh. Guess we really didn't think that through, huh? The cake should have landed on a table or something.
Would have been nice.
There you go, Science Max Experiments at Large, Rube Goldberg machine. Are you sure you don't want some of this cake?
No, let's
But,
go. Let's go.